What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Beach Sports Podcast, a podcast produced and created by the Daily 49ers staff. My name is Cristian Vasquez, and I'll be your host for today's episode. We're back in-person instruction, guys. That's right, Monday, February 7th. We're back on campus, and I hope to see everyone there, masked up, of course. But I hope everybody had a great break and an even better start to the spring semester. Shout out to all my seniors graduating this May. You guys got this, guys. I know it's a home stretch, but we can do it. All right, let's get right into the episode. We'll be recapping this week's most exciting games, discussing the new NCAA COVID rules on eligibility and the impact it's caused on student athletes and rosters. And of course, the big game we're all waiting for this Sunday, Super Bowl 56 returning to LA for the first time in nearly 30 years. I am joined today by the Daily 49ers sports editor assistant, Matthew Brown. How are you, Matthew?
I'm doing good, Cristian. Thank you. I'm super excited to be here for our first episode of this semester.
All right, well, let's get right into it. The Walter Pyramid increases capacity to 50%, and that's right, more fans will be allowed inside the pyramid. As reported by the Daily 49ers sports editor Thomas Murray, Long Beach State Athletic Director Andy Feet announced on January 25th that the capacity would rise. Feet said, quote, "If we say 50%, that's about 2,500 people, maybe a little less. With 4,000 plus seats, we can have social distancing in the pyramid. We feel that we're providing a safe environment for fans and student athletes." In volleyball news, the number 3 Beach men's volleyball team hosted the 7th-ranked USC Trojans at the Walter Pyramid on Friday, February 4th. This following a win against number 9 Ohio State in a close game loss against 4th-ranked Penn State. Matt, go ahead and tell us a little bit about that game against Penn State.
Yeah, so the volleyball team this season, their strategy has been, not strategy I would say, but every game they start off kind of slow. You know, their first set they come out kind of sluggish. Their offense and defense, it's not really working. Against Penn State, it was kind of the same story. Their first set went to overtime, and Penn State took the first set, which kind of set the mood for the rest of the game. It was a close game. It went the distance, full 5 sets, but unfortunately, we weren't able to come out on top. But other than that, we've been a pretty good team. You know, we just took on USC. We beat USC. We took on Ohio State. Beat Ohio State. So we're kind of really proving why Long Beach State is ranked number 3.
That's right. And USC got off to a hot start in that game. They dominated the first set 25-15, but the Beach did rally behind, as you said, and they never looked back. They took on the next 3 sets and beat the Trojans 3-1. Freshman outside hitter Alex Nikolov had another impressive game, leading the team with 24 kills, and this marking his 3rd consecutive match with 20-plus kills. What do you think, Matt? Do you think we'll see more from Alex on the court?
Yeah, so Nikolov has been their biggest offensive asset this season. You know, he's won 3 Big West Conference Freshman of the Week awards, and it's only their 4th week of competition. So he's definitely and he's only a freshman from Bulgaria, so he's definitely started off his collegiate career pretty hot. And also, you know, their setter Aiden Knipe, he's been pretty good. He's been solid as their setter. He dished out 41 assists against USC the other night. And defensively, you know, Mason Briggs, he does what he does in the back line. You know, he got I believe his 17th career double-digit big performance of his career the other night. So yeah, they've been pretty solid all season.
Yes, they have. And now they stand at 6-1 in the season. And next they'll take off the number 4 UCLA Bruins at home on Friday, February 11th. Let's go on.
Yeah, that should be I'm sorry. Yeah, that should be an exciting game. They play home against UCLA, and then the following week they travel to UCLA to take them on again. And then after that, they take on number 13 Stanford. So they got a pretty stacked schedule up ahead.
But like you said, I mean, this is where we get a chance to prove, you know, why we're so nationally ranked high.
Yes, exactly.
All right, moving on to women's tennis. They just faced off against the UC Davis Aggies on Saturday, February 5th, and they took the win 4-3, and it's their first win in Big West Conference play. And I believe in that game they dominated in doubles, winning their 2 matches out of 1 on that one.
Yeah, so this would be their first win, I believe, in like 2 years almost. You know, they played their first competition in 2 years last week, I believe.
Yeah, so many of their matches looked like they got canceled out, and I mean, it's just good to see them back on the court.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, so it looks like they took doubles 2-1, and they went 3-3 in singles, and they're able to take the W.
All right, going on to basketball news. The Beach men's basketball team hosted the Cal State Bakersfield Roadrunners on Thursday, February 3rd, also at the Pyramid. And that was a tight match as both teams traded fouls, turnovers, and points. And here's a little fact: no team led by more than 5 points through 35 minutes. But they did come out on top. They notched that win 74-65. Any comment on that game, Matt?
Yeah, so it was a pretty good game again. They extended their winning streak to 7 straight games. It's their longest streak in 9 years. So they're really on a hot streak right now. And with their win, it moved them into a 3-way tie with Hawaii and Cal State Fullerton. So, they started off the season kind of slow. There was, talk about, Dan Munson's job, kind of in jeopardy. They started off slow, but they've really turned it around this season.
And now they got that hot stretch of games. They've won a few of their last lately, and I mean it's just carrying that
Yeah.
momentum onto their next one, which is in fact being played right now during the time of this recording. They're facing off against Cal Poly Pomona, the Mustangs, at the Walter Pyramid. And right now, to give you an update, it's the second half, just a little over 10 minutes, and they're tied 47 apiece.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say just some of the people that have been standing out. Their rookie Abubakar Traore, he's been great defensively for them. He leads the team with 8.2 rebounds a game, and in the game against Bakersfield, he got 23 rebounds, which is the most in a game for the Beach since 1961. So I thought that was pretty impressive. He's been great for the Beach defensively.
He certainly standed out. Yeah, he's garnered up some great stats over the last couple games, and we can see why. And their next game will be against Cal State Fullerton on Tuesday, February 8th, 7 p.m. And going on to the women's team, they also faced off against CSU Bakersfield. This time they traveled to Bakersfield to face off the Roadrunners on Thursday, February 3rd. The first half of that match was tooth and nail, Matt, as both teams traded leads before the Roadrunners went into the half leading by just 2 points. Now, the Beach did respond with an explosive third quarter, outscoring the Runners 29-12, and they went 10 for 16 from the field, grabbing the dub by double-digit points, 74-63.
Yeah, it's good to see him bounce back because Bakersfield actually gave the Beach their first home loss of the season last week. So the game started. Both games started off kind of similarly, like kind of close in the first half, but with Bakersfield kind of leading. But it's good to see the Beach respond in the second half. Maddie Udy had another great offensive performance. Another 20-point performance. Justina King, she led the team in scoring last season. She's second right now behind Udy. But yeah, she picked it up in the second half of the game. That's kind of usually her play style this season. She kind of like scores most of her points in the second half, I would say. So, but it's good to see him bounce back.
And they did travel to Pomona, also playing Cal Poly Pomona, to take on the Mustangs today, February 5th. It was another neck-and-neck game. The Beach did pull through late in the game, going on a 14-2 run in the fourth to face overtime. It was 56-56 by the end of the first overtime period, and it took a second-chance layup by Kiana Hamilton-Fisher to seal the 65-64 win for the Beach. What an impressive come-from-behind victory for the Beach.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the game be that close because Cal Poly SLO is not the best team. They're second to last in the Big West Conference. So they came in with a 1-5 conference record and a 2-13 overall record. So it's kind of interesting to see the game really be that close in the Beach. Almost, they had to go to double overtime to take them down. And they're tied. The Beach was in first place for a while, but I think they've dropped now to second place behind UC Irvine. So we'll have to see with this win and with UC Irvine's game to see what the rankings are after.
Definitely. They will also go and face off the Cal State Fullerton Titans also on Tuesday, February 8th. Now let's move on to what is a very big trend in collegiate sports, and we've seen this spark lately in major sports like football and basketball. Of course, the Beach does not have a football team, but we do see the impact on the basketball side of things. And I'm talking about, of course, the transfer portal. Now, the new NCAA does allow the new rule does allow athletes to transfer so long as they have not transferred once before. And this combined with the new COVID redshirt rule, which gives players an extra year of eligibility because of the pandemic, and it has caused rosters to overcrowd. And in an interview with the Daily 49er, Andy Fier, our athletic director, he said, quote, "The transfer portal is very popular and it's really changed recruiting. I think it kind of hurts high school athletes. It probably impacts the high school athlete more than the collegiate athlete because the high school athlete doesn't really have options." What do you think there, Matt?
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting situation because these coaches, they have to decide between athletes who have experience at other colleges, or these high school athletes who are still, I guess, developing. They're not fully there, so it's definitely kind of an issue, like with overcrowding. Like it's also, what do you do with it? It's kind of tough because these seniors, they lost years because of COVID, so they deserve their time to play. But we also have these new players coming up. So I don't know. It's definitely the transfer portal is definitely interesting. I know with USC, trying to get their football program back to where it was. Um, the Oklahoma quarterback, right? Caleb Williams. I know. So it's definitely, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting topic.
No, for sure it is. And like you said, yeah, coaches now they kind of have to make this tough decision to say, do we take the 18-year-old freshman? Do we
Hmm.
want that him on the team, or do we start a junior transfer, or another
Yeah,
transfer?
I believe even on our team, like I forgot who, someone on our basketball team, I believe it's his sixth year in like you playing college basketball. So it's definitely, I don't know. I've never seen it like, it's definitely, we've never had this before. So it's tough waters to navigate.
Yeah, and I mean you can only fit so many players on a roster, so it
Hmm.
does definitely take away the spots for the incoming freshmen. And I mean it's such a complicated situation. And you're right, yeah, like we're seeing USC right now, in a major sport like football, with the hiring of Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma. So many recruits flipping their commits from Oklahoma
Yeah.
to USC. One such guy, quarterback Malachi Nelson, who actually plays at Los Alamitos, not too far away from our campus. We've seen him also, flip his commit his commitment, and it's just impressive. I mean, it's just crazy seeing this sort of free agency going on in collegiate sports.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I know with the new NIL rules, athletes want to, could pursue colleges where they might get a good sponsorship deal. That's also one thing I know. Maybe athletes might want to look at, where they can get the best, sponsorship deals, market themselves, because that's, it's all about these days marketing yourselves.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, definitely, I think we're going away from this whole traditional form of college athletics. It's definitely not going to be the same from where
Yeah.
our parents and our grandparents used to play. I mean, or what they're used to. It's definitely a completely new environment.
Yeah, we're definitely in like an evolution stage of collegiate sports.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just can't wait to see what's gonna happen next, because I mean, this is just gonna get crazier and crazier.
Hmm.
All right, and moving on to the big game that is the Super Bowl. That's right, it's right around the corner. I mean, coming very, very soon. The big game will be played in LA for the first time in nearly 30 years. And we have the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the LA Rams in Super Bowl 56 at SoFi Stadium. The Rams will become only the second team in Super Bowl history, Matt, to make it to the Super Bowl in the same season that their team city hosts it. You know which team was the first one to make this?
Ooh, wasn't it just recently?
It
Was
was
it not?
very
Or
recently. It
I
was
know it just
very,
recently.
very.
It was
I'll
the
give you a
Falcons. Was it
clue.
not the Falcons?
I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue.
Uh,
Goat.
oh, it was the it was the Buccaneers.
It
Buccaneers.
was the
I
Buccaneers.
was like, it just
Yeah,
happened. Yeah,
yeah.
it just happened. I
Uh,
was like, I know it just happened too.
you know what reminded me? What reminded me was the weekend doing the halftime performance.
Oh yeah,
Right
he
where
looks like
the
lost.
end
Like
zone. Yeah,
he's like doesn't know where he's at.
yeah. That
I
I mean,
remember
it's
that
just,
one.
that was too funny. But yeah, they will become the second team to in Super Bowl history to make it to the Super Bowl in the same season that their team city hosts it. And of course, we're looking for some offensive fireworks. On the Rams side, we have veterans Matthew Stafford and Odell Beckham Jr. They're seeking their first ever Super Bowl win. While Bengals on the Bengals side, we have quarterback Joe Burrow. I mean, we've seen him, on a hot streak.
Yeah,
Burrow
he's
looking to
definitely surprised everybody.
Oh yeah, 100%. And little fact right here: Burrow's looking to become only the first player ever to win the Heisman Trophy, the College Football National Championship with LSU, and hopefully, maybe we'll see the Super Bowl. And
yeah, definitely. He's definitely a come from behind, an underdog story in this game, but Joe Burrow definitely has, a resume behind him, so don't be surprised if they take this.
I mean, what a story he is, a transfer from Ohio State, going on to LSU, building up with Coach Orgeron, this amazing offense. And, I mean, they literally plummeled through everyone in that college season that, that was his senior year, and winning the Heisman and now getting a chance to host that to pull up that Lombardi Trophy up in the air against the Rams in their home stadium. I mean, I'm pretty sure momentum's on his side right now.
Yeah, that's definitely a Hollywood script right there.
Oh yeah, 100%. And tickets are going for thousands of dollars. So if any of you have one there, I say you guys hold on to that ticket because it's impossible to get one right now. And here's another cool fact: the beloved Pepsi Halftime Show will also feature some great talent. We've got Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, and then Long Beach's own Snoop Dogg, Matt, will share the stage in this hip-hop extravaganza. What do you think of that lineup right there?
That's pretty insane because last year was only the weekend, so to have like a stacked, very stacked lineup right here with everybody, especially Snoop Dogg, that'll be definitely fun to see what they're up to.
A little bit of Long Beach community right there up on the stage.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that, like Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, I mean, this is their backyard, literally. These guys grew up in that area, in Inglewood, in the Compton area. I mean, this is their stage right there. I mean, why wouldn't they be on that stage?
Yeah, it's definitely a California vibe right there. Definitely Southern California vibe right there.
Oh, 100%. And Super Bowl 56, it'll kick off at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday, February 13th on NBC. Well, that's all today for Beach Sports. Tune in next time as we will talk with Dirtbags head coach Eric Valenzuela. Matt, baseball season's right around the corner, and we got to see where this is going to take the Dirtbags.
Yes, I'm definitely excited. It's their first, I would say, full season. Knock on wood. These last 2 seasons have been COVID impacted. They had many games canceled, so it's definitely good to see have them their first full season, see what they do.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So he's going to come on aboard next episode, and he'll talk a little bit of baseball for us. Also, a new face on the sideline for the women's volleyball team. And he's got the staff. He's got his coaching staff. He's bringing them on board. So great to see some new faces on the sidelines for the women's volleyball team, and we'll see what they bring. So don't forget to check out Beach News Weekly for campus news on daily49er.com, as well as other podcast content brought to you by the Daily 49er on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Daily49er. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for accompanying me on this very first episode. It was a pleasure to have you.
Yes, it was a pleasure being on here. Thank you so much, Cristian, and I hope I'm back on for a lot more episodes.
Oh, 100%, Maddie. We'll definitely bring you back. Thank you so much to all of our audience for tuning in with us today. For the Daily 49er and Matthew Brown, I've been your host, Cristian Vasquez. I hope everyone has a great week and a great spring semester.